Hi, it's Joy, and today you're watching The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 13, Pabu. I am very excited for another episode. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go.
I thought you worked alone.
Things change. I'm teaching her the fine art of negotiation.
It's a very obedient creature.
New pet?
Not anymore.
Should have brought more muscle than that, Fee.
She did.
She did.
She's liberated that artifact. And she's liberated the money.
Don't you think she should learn some other skills?
What other skills?
Omega spends all her time with you three.
They don't have... I mean, I know that she's suggesting that, like, maybe she could teach Omega some other stuff or whatever, but they have no other life skills. They've taught Omega all they know. They all should learn some new things.
You better be dead, because your absence has cost me a few scores. Remember our mutually beneficial arrangements, and
Sid.
how well we know one us threatening you, boys.
Sid, after all we've done for you.
Cut ties with.
What terrible fate are we going to bring to this peaceful looking place?
Most of the villagers on Pabu are refugees. Many of the items I recover are
Oh, I
remnants
really
of
want
their
this place.
cultures, and that's worth preserving.
Nothing bad to happen
After
on this
all,
place.
I am a liberator.
What'd you bring this time?
Omega, a friend for you.
Welcome and
They're refugees too, in a way. They have lost their
Brought
home.
any friends here?
we're all like family.
This would be a lovely place for them to settle. Not that I think they're going to be settling. She deserves to get to be a kid. You all deserve the chance as well. And you deserve now to explore other parts of you than being soldiers.
Many. Pabu has been a safe haven for those forced to flee their homes during the war.
The Empire will
And
find
others
you
after.
eventually, I'm sure.
And
If there's something they need
you're
here.
not worried the Empire will show up.
Mm-hmm.
Some come to Pabu looking for a clean slate, a chance to start over. As a father, you couldn't ask for a better place to raise a child.
You're suggesting we all stay on Pabu
I support this.
permanently.
Omega deserves this. They all do.
But you're safe here.
I hope
You and your
so.
friends.
I actually don't know whether they're intending to make more seasons of this show, because it just hit me that if they're only going to make 2, they could be setting this up as a place for the Bad Batch to settle.
Can stay as long as you want.
I'd like that.
We never stay anywhere for long.
It's one way to quantify it.
Oh, let them find a way to settle here, please.
What's wrong?
What is wrong? Animals always know.
Something's coming.
Oh god, what?
We
I love
need
this
to-
place. I mean, if that's just
What
an...
was it?
I mean, just an earthquake, at least we
No big
didn't
deal.
cause it.
Happens all the time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Please don't say that that's an... Mhm.
This island is at risk for a significant sea surge.
How much risk?
In 3 decades. If we were at risk, the early warning system would have activated. And
I don't like the sound of that.
It's not a very early warning system, is it? Does everyone have to get out of the lower Pabu into the upper Pabu? And the girls are in this... in the water? Oh god.
The water has already begun receding.
Oh, girls. Hunter is coming.
We have to jump!
Oh.
Are you okay?
Let's just hope this place is equipped to deal with this.
Keep moving.
Omega?
I know.
Hunter, we're in trouble.
Oh,
Giant wave coming. Come on.
oh sweethearts. Her little voice sounded so scared.
Must use additional means to get them over the wall.
We can deploy the rescue ladders.
Where?
Okay.
They line the top of each wall.
Well, why are they not down already? I do like that, you know, you really do get the sense that this place has got defenses and plans and strategies to deal with this kind of situation, because it hasn't happened in so long. They're just not prepared. This is why you keep prepared.
The mechanisms are rusted through.
Yeah,
Need
they
to
haven't.
manually
They need
unfurl
to. If we're gonna stay here, we need to make sure this place stays up to date with its disaster relief prevention efforts. I would not want to climb that ladder, but it's better than dying in a tsunami, so, you know, I would do it.
Hey, help you?
Everything will be fine, Mr. Hinter.
Bless you, Wrecker. Oh, girls. Hunter, we need you right now. Fly like you've never flown before.
The water's moving too fast!
Oh, sweetheart, I'll be there.
Grab the log.
Oh. Oh. I'm not gonna rest easy until everyone is up that ladder and we see that the girls are definitely safe. Oh lord. Fucking hell, that is a big tsunami. I mean, this seems like a community that is built on togetherness and pulling through and helping each other. Even that little moment showed it. Okay, I see both children. Thank fucking God. So much damage in an instant. The 3 kids.
We got everyone out in time.
That is the most
That's what's
important thing, yeah.
Based on
We'll band together and rebuild.
This is the
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
place that gives you hope for the galaxy.
We could stay and help out with things.
I had the same idea.
Did you now?
I really hope they get a sense of community. I mean, I'm getting a feeling that they're going to somehow find out about Crosshair and his current situation and have to go and deal with that somehow. I'm praying the Empire doesn't come here. But I would love the idea of them actually getting to settle here and building a life. You know, if anybody has earned the chance to just live a peaceful existence, it is any clone, including and especially these clones. And I'm also fine if Crosshair just saves himself. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that if they don't find out about it, because right now I don't entirely know how they would find out about him. They can just live their peaceful lives and he can save himself. And I want him to be safe. I loved this episode. It gave me such a sense of hope for this little family that they might actually be able to settle down one day and have the kind of life that they all deserve. Omega included, but Omega especially, but including the older members of the Bad Batch who never had a life, who never had normality. You know, as much as the Empire kicking all the clones, you know, basically abandoning all the clones, whatever severance package they give. In Obi-Wan, we saw that, you know, homeless, begging clone trooper that had no options. They will find it very difficult to build any other kind of life, but it gives you kind of hope that maybe they'll get to build some kind of a life going forwards. Because they deserve it. Being forced to be soldiers, I mean, I'm against conscription in general, but being forced the way the clones were conscripted, absolutely hideous. So this little place, the idea that it is a community that is fostered on protecting each other, helping each other, on community, and they're taking refugees and they don't mind if refugees come. They're not like, oh my god, we have limited resources on our island, excuse me, you might take my job. They are like, yeah, welcome, we're going to band together, we're going to help each other. It is the kind of place that is a dream that it is the hope for the future and the hope for this galaxy that places like this exist. And it is exactly the kind of place that I think would be very healing for our batch to settle and to live. And I would love for them to get to stay there. Now, obviously, if this is intended as a 2-season show and then done, if this is the final season of this show, then I really do have hope that they will end up settling here. If they're going to do seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, this could still be a base for them, but them going away and doing missions and coming back would put this place at risk, so I don't know whether it will be. Regardless, seeing Omega, every time she's met a kid, she has lit up. She has loved playing with that child and sharing life experiences and being a kid with that child. And this was no different. I think it really, we know they love her, and Hunter, who's kind of her dad on the team, really just looks at her and just wants the world for her, so I hope they get it. I am torn between wanting another season of this show and wanting them to just settle down here and never have a single bad thing happen to them ever again. The natural disaster was obviously terrifying. Terrifying because it was so real. It happens in our world, and with global warming and the climate crisis and the fact that we're doing nothing about it, you know, it's going to happen more and more frequently. And it was scary to think that they had resources to they can't protect to protect their people, but the fact that they were unprepared, that it had been, it's been 30 years since we had anything like that. Yeah, so it can happen. Be prepared, do drills, you know, tell everyone that on Thursday the 12th of March, not that they have such dates there, at 7 p.m. the alarm's going to go off. Don't worry, it's not real. We'll set it off like 3 times in short bursts if it is real. And everyone will do a practice evacuation just to make sure we can do it and everything's working. And like once every 6 months, do a practice evacuation when you live in this kind of place. At the very least, have people practicing that the ladders deploy and that everyone knows the quickest access point and things like that. The most dangerous thing in this episode was complacency that it's not going to happen again. But I'm so relieved that nobody died, that they managed to save everybody, because that is truly what is most important. And this community pulling together is exactly the kind of thing that would be the perfect home for the Bachelor, and I'm just very emotional about it. I was really expecting them to end up going after Crosshair. Like 1,000%. I was expecting that they were going to hear about Crosshair and the next episodes would be them going and trying to help him. Or at least something would happen. Omega would get taken and end up there. I suppose that could still happen because they crossed Sid, and as much as like Sid owes them a lot for having saved her multiple times, and Sid cares about Omega, countless people have warned us that Sid is ruthless. So I could see Sid hearing that there's a fresh bounty on Omega's head because the scientist dude now wants her to get through to, oh my god, you know, the scientist lady whose name has escaped my brain fog brain. If there's a fresh bounty, an even bigger bounty on her head, I could see crossed Sid potentially turning on them and saying, how they would track them I don't entirely know, but maybe she's planted a tracker on their ship, or she knows how to contact them, so she could give them that kind of information. She could tell them, oh, they've worked jobs with these people before, and that could lead them to the liberator of artifacts lady who could track them to her home. They could bring danger to this place, which would definitely mean they wouldn't want to settle there. A lot of terrible things could happen, and I just want them to get to have a home. I loved this episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance. Thank you so much for watching.